Last orders at the bar.
A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web stream thinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop off the cork, have a glass of wine, I feel safe, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line before the Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome once again to Last Orders. Let's make these are the final orders of the nights, and you guys had your fun with us the other night at open bar.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to clear away all the empty pint glasses and get the last drinks in. And so here we
do
are.
that now? I don't want to clear away that. Don't we have a guy for that? Ugh.
I mean, we should really like just an honorary position.
Make Tatiana do it.
Yeah. What was that picture of? Remember that Christian Bale picture that was going around? You know, when he put on loads of weight to play Dick Cheney, I think.
Yeah.
And he was just there in like a denim shirt, like kind of in between takes or whatever, and just like chilling. someone just wrote, "He looks like the guy down at your local pub who clears away the beer glasses but doesn't actually work there." It's had a real simple look about him.
It's an archetype.
Anyway, yeah. But hey, we do have a bunch of super chats that we've got to answer, and I think now's the time to do it. So how about I just jump right in here and see if we can get them done?
That makes sense.
All right. So the first one is from Andrew Valdez, who says, "Get Trump or Elon on FNT or EFAP. Not open bar though, apparently, because I'm not good enough for them. But you can have them. Maybe
I'm
like
sure
you guys you have Elon, like FNT can have Trump. You guys can have fun.
Yeah, we'll play some games with him.
Yeah." I mean, he's quite the gamer from what we're told.
He's a pro, dude.
Yeah, I want to get him and Gary talking.
Mm-hmm.
Grimnack says, Gandalf, Sauron, and the Balrog are all the same being. No, they're not.
Right?
No. So I think Sauron is a Maiar, but Gandalf is a different being.
Well, I assume they'd have to be considered different beings just fucking by looking at them. But like, maybe they're saying like a similar origin or what?
I mean, they're all created by Iluvatar, like the god of this world. But yeah, I think there's a kind of power structure to all these beings, and the Maiar are pretty high up. And I think Gandalf is like the level below them. So
right.
I would need to look it up. I can never remember all the different names.
Istari or whatever, right?
The what? Sorry,
Istari, is that the name?
It might be actually. Yes. Yeah, the wizards, and then the Balrogs are again that's like a different category, demons. But yeah, I need to refresh my lore on all the different like creatures and stuff of Middle Earth because weirdly I am actually reading Lord of the Rings at the moment, but a lot of that stuff is just outside the realm of the three books, and it's kind of you have to get into the Silmarillion and stuff to really learn about it.
Of course.
And I'm lazy that way. Frosty Zipper says, "Any of you all catch the Doom Dark Ages drop earlier? Demons catch lead and skull shards on May 15th. Be there. Also, extra shot drinker reacts on Heat or Rush when exquisite films. Both of those movies are really good. I'll give you that. I haven't had a chance to review them, but yeah, what do you think about Doom Dark Ages?
I mean, I want to play it when it jumps out, but I've heard some rumblings about certain elements about the gameplay. I think it was so. Not nothing like controversial in terms of any hot button stuff. Just actual like the way that certain guns work or something sounded a bit like, is that good or bad as a change? So I think Fringy was talking about it. I can't quite remember what it was, but obviously I'll give it a shot. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the Doom remake, I guess, is what they did a couple of years back. That was pretty good fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully they can just carry that spirit over, and I'll be laughing. Ashton Francis says, "I'm sick, falling apart, going to fall asleep to you." I mean, what better thing is there to fall asleep to, really?
Why not?
Yeah. I hope you feel better, man. Radio Spec says, what is one movie that you would have to own a physical copy of because it is most at risk of being changed by the corporation who own it on digital? I mean, I feel like that's any movie at this point. Anything made before 2015 is probably at risk now.
Well, yeah, I think maybe Team America might be one of the better choices for that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I'm not going to be able to say, like, Robert Meyer Burnett would be an interesting person to ask that question for, because he's probably going to be more aware of, like, maybe older, way more controversial types of films that I haven't even seen. But for my generation, knowing what everyone gets fucking mad about these days, I might have assumed that we need to protect stuff like that because they've already banned stuff like that from being viewable.
Sure. I mean, potentially any Quentin Tarantino movie that's got the N word in it is probably at risk. Blazing Saddles is probably a biggie.
Yeah,
I know they'd just be itching to edit some of the more controversial stuff out of that. Yeah. And in a way, it's kind of been done as well. The original Star Wars trilogy, like, that's been fucked over so many times. Like, God, barely recognize it at this point. George, leave it alone.
I think he's probably is leaving most things alone now.
Yeah. B. Groes says, for everyone except Jeremy, do you popular YouTubers get private security at these events? Okay, well, I'm the only one here who can answer it. So it depends on the con. Grand Rapids actually was super well organized, and so we had like a table with like a kind of lane system to like funnel people in so that we didn't interfere with other tables and stuff, and it like helped to keep the crowds under control. And yeah, there was one or two people there to just keep people moving and do crowd control. It's not really security in the sense that they're there to like save your life or anything. It's more just like maintaining a bit of order. I think at MegaCon they'll have something, mostly because where we're going to be is like right in the middle of like the artists and authors, that sort of thing, and so there's going to have to be a way to funnel people, because particularly if like say me and Gary and Jeremy, maybe Ripper, are all at the same booth at the same time, a lot of people are going to want to see us, and so there needs to be a way of keeping that under control. So, yeah, it just, like I say, it depends on the con. Sometimes it's just like, you're pretty much free to do whatever. If it's more spread out, Anime Matsuri was like that, actually. It's a big hall that you're in there, so there was loads of space. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what MegaCon's like this year. Radio Spec says, Mauler, at what point does Futurama start to dip in quality? Haven't watched since the Sting episode.
I mean, I'm quite fond of the first 4 seasons. You could call it like the classic era before they got cancelled. Then you get the set of movies, which are split into episodes, quote unquote, which constitute a season. I believe that's considered season 5, the 4 movies. And then you get 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't remember if it goes that far and it gets cancelled again. That run is like hit and miss. And then the new set that are coming out right now, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend them. So it's really up to you where you'd want to stop there. I'd certainly say watch the first 4 seasons and then give the second set, so to speak, a chance, probably.
Okay. Well, there you go. Mike Morgan says, will it be snowing at MegaCon? Well, hopefully I can bring some of that Scottish weather with me. Yeah, you guys have been getting crazy weather down south recently, haven't you? Like snow in Florida. Yeah, who knows? As Viewpoint says, on Joe Rogan, Tarantino said that he loves Joker 2. Go figure. I mean, I think he did say that, didn't he?
Something along the lines of like, I love how it. He made it sound like he loved the what it was doing as opposed to the film itself. But maybe he does just love it.
I mean, maybe he got paid to show. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe he's friends with the director. TJ Jordan. I hear rumors of a possible Deadpool and Wolverine 2. If they wheel in another 20 million to get Hugh Jackman back, I really want to see the two just killing the entire TVA. I'll pay for all the tickets. I think we all want that, don't we?
Kill the whole MCU.
Yeah. I think people would pay to just watch them kill all the annoying like girl bosses. Like just murder Captain Marvel. Like
It'd be
It
funny.
could be fun. It's yeah. I mean, I think they'll probably do another one, won't they?
It made a lot of money.
It did, and I think Jackman and Reynolds are up for doing another one, so probably only a matter of time. DS Volt says you guys should come to FanX in Salt Lake City. Also, what's your ranking of the only 3 Captain America movies? Yeah, I was invited to FanX, I think, but I couldn't make it, like schedule wise. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but that's what happens sometimes. Yeah, the Captain America movies, probably Civil War, I would put as the best. Then Winter Soldier, and then the first one.
I adore Civil War. It's probably my favorite MCU film. It's between that and Avengers and Iron Man. I think those 3 would be the competition. But yeah, probably Civil War. And then for me, I might choose the first Avenger over Winter Soldier. I find Winter Soldier's plot is so fucking stupid, but the action's pretty solid. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I think it had the coolness factor, which was such a departure from the first one. Like,
I love the theme. Sorry, the soundtrack, like the theme for Winter Soldier himself. I think they have like vuvuzelas.
Yeah, it's some like weird, discordant, screechy sort of thing as well going on.
And he was like the fight scene he and Cap have at first. Man, we used to eat good in the MCU, you know.
It did. I feel like the first Avenger though is one of those movies that has gradually gone up in people's estimation over the years. Like they come to appreciate it more than when it was released at the time. I think just compared to something like the first Iron Man, it just seemed all a bit goofy, and like the World War II setting probably just felt a bit played out by that point.
Much more conventional, I find. Iron Man feels like a more modern hero story because it's a little bit more morally complicated. Captain America is like, they're Nazis. I'm a all-American, wholesome, altruistic guy who just wants to make the difference and help people, which is easy to get behind. And you know what? The strength of those films really helped build up for Avengers.
Yeah, certainly did. Sean Hiruki says, I liked Squid Game when it was called Kaiji or Battle Royale. I mean, the concept's been done many times.
I don't know. Like Hunger Games, I totally understand making the connection there, but like Squid Game and Battle Royale, that's different enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like at its most base level, you've got a big group of people and you got to whittle them down to like one.
Yeah, but
it's like pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it.
And I love Battle Royale, for the record. It's great.
I actually finally started watching Alice in Borderland, and I must admit, I'm intrigued. I'm sorry, like my train of thought just kind of took me to that. It's like, oh, that's another thing that people have to play games to try and survive. But yeah, the first game they played just felt like super unfair and difficult, and it feels like most people totally wouldn't figure that out, and they would just all die. But I'm kind of curious to see where it's going.
So, all right, maybe I'll try and watch it at some point.
I'll report back about it. Yeah, I'll report back when I've finished.
All right.
Our Rob or Ross says, I like this reference, gazpacho soup. I don't know if you ever made it that far in Red Dwarf.
I might have. The thing is, my memory of it's not going to be as good as yours anyway. Like,
yeah, it's like they get a copy of like the ship's voice recorder or whatever from like the day of the accident when the crew were killed, and like Rimmer's last words were gazpacho soup, and like all throughout the episode they're trying to figure out what it meant, and Rimmer finally comes clean, and it was like he was invited up to the captain's mess to dine with the officers, and he was served gazpacho soup, which is cold, and he demanded it be served hot because he thought like they'd fucked up. And there it was. He was making a fool of himself, and he didn't even know it until later. And that was his big regret. Josh Kelsey gave us $20 American, so thank you. Chris Lyle says Tom Hanks will choose to die on that woke hill before giving in. It's funny, right? Because Gary uses Tom Hanks with like drool coming out of his mouth on a lot of his thumbnails and stuff, right? And is he kind of regarded as like a super woke, super left wing celebrity? I feel like I've never heard anything from him.
I was about to say you're asking the wrong person because I don't even know the last time I heard his voice or saw a thing about what he said.
Yeah, I just feel like he's been really quiet in all this, and not too outspoken on the whole culture war stuff. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something.
You must consult Gary.
Yeah. Shadow Cyan says, if the Helldivers movie opens up with A-list actors getting obliterated, who would you pick? Oh, yeah.
Probably a bunch
Not
of like well-known action stars if we're allowed anybody. That would be fun, right? Like the implication is that they're gonna be the main character, and then suddenly, boom.
Yeah. Could we kill Mark Ruffalo just for fun?
I wouldn't make him one of the Helldivers. I'd make him like a fucking reporter who comes in like, "Or what is what you're doing ethical?" Like, and then he just gets blown up.
Has anyone considered that the bugs have a point? And then, yeah, he just gets killed. Yeah, that'd be good. Sam Wallace says, yeah, with how many trans people are on the bottom rung of society, that only one of them pops up in Squid Game, there should be 10 of them. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that was enough to make their point. I've said before, like, I didn't feel like that character was like, there to make some political statement or anything. It was just another person with another objective, another motivation for being in there.
I suppose it's interesting because of all the meta culture. Like, if this had come out 20 years ago, I feel like the conversation about that character could still have existed the way that they did them in the show, I think, and people wouldn't be as potentially frustrated, I'd imagine. Because, there's just different names for everything the further back in time you go.
Well, I mean, shit, man. Look at Dog Day Afternoon. Like, freaking Al Pacino robs the whole thing, like, to pay for a sex change for his boyfriend. I mean, like, that's like, what, the 70s?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this has been around for a long time. Mega Spidey-Man asks, if Molo was asked, would he go on Piers Morgan?
I guess it depends on the subject. If he was like, we're going to talk about Trump's inauguration, I'd be like, I don't. Why would you even? But if he said, I don't know, because I was thinking the whole show's designed somewhat to just be antagonistic and to have sort of talking heads bash and stuff, which really isn't my MO. I don't know. It would depend.
Yeah, it's like Piers Morgan is the antithesis of the long man, because it's like you have to give like super quick, snappy answers.
Does he have people on who don't have cameras anyway?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get Gundam on.
Yeah. Also, he's asking, what would your ideal Thor 4 have been?
Ideal Thor 4? He's already fucked because of Endgame. I might try and cheat somewhat and restart the Punished arc, basically. Use what we have left and scrap it together to try and recreate what was happening at the end of Infinity War. And then have a serious dark film that relates to Thor deciding to use his power for a lot more than he used to, because he's tired of the whole world, like, all the suffering, he'll stop it himself, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be a great setup for Gore then as well. I would keep Gore as the villain, because you have this overzealous Thor, and then Gore is like a god assassin who's tired of them abusing their power. That seems to line up perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a storyline like that in the hands of a director who wasn't Taika Waititi.
I practically want him to fucking stay away from everything now, like even his own shit. I'm just tired. Taika ruined his reputation.
Well, I think that's kind of what's happening now, isn't it? Like he's almost in director jail because he's fucked up so many times.
Yeah,
and he's totally he's brought it on himself, because that dude had the world at his feet a few years ago and just completely squandered it. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, gay panel invasion. Not you though, Platoon, I think. Yeah, well, indeed, we got all the gays from FNC, so it was great to have them on. Icanthas says, Tom Holland is a great casting for any Greek because they were all extremely short, like Tom. Okay. TJ Jordan, I just realized that in the Mufasa movie, Rafiki is telling the origin story to a young kid/cub, while next to the underwater cavern where the villain skeleton lies at the bottom. What the fuck, Disney? That's a good point. Uper says, howdy all. Howdy to you.
Howdy.
Philip Poole. Jeremy and Platoon should start a new stream and call it Bordeaux and Schlitz. That's pretty nice, actually. I'd say do it. Sam Wallace Art says, Thick Dallas Howard is all right in my book. Okay.
Right.
The CGI ice skating fight was laughable directing decision, but she and Sam Rockwell were great together. I'm going to put most of that on Sam Rockwell because he's just a damn likable actor. And I feel like he can have good chemistry with most people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Something happened to Bryce Dallas Howard. It's like she just kind of stopped giving a shit. She just phones it in as an actor now. Ryan Bailey says, someone described Megalopolis to me as a big budget Neil Breen film with Adam Driver playing the sort of character that Breen would cast himself as.
Wow.
Have you ever seen any Neil Breen movies?
Yeah, no, I don't actually. I've seen so many people review them, but I haven't actually watched them myself. I don't think.
I've only seen like segments of them. I don't think I can handle the awesomeness that is a whole Neil Breen movie. But my God, there's something else. Nerd from 92 says, Captain Ron is one of my all-time favorites for a family comedy. Have you guys seen it? And what are your thoughts? Kurt Russell is the man. He is. But I haven't seen Captain Ron. Oh, wait. Have I? Hold on.
I haven't.
Sounds familiar. Oh, vaguely, yeah. God, this takes me back. I'd almost forgotten about this movie. Yeah, okay, so he's a sailor. He's basically a yacht captain with a quirky personality and a checkered past.
Ooh.
And it's got Martin Short in it, and his husband and wife who hire him to sail a yacht through the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, I sort of remember that. Yeah, so he's just like a drunkard, like loose cannon kind of thing. He's pretty funny. Like, Kurt Russell can make anything work.
Yeah.
This says, maybe you all talked about this already, but I just came in. As a horror fan, I'm very happy that The Substance got into Best Picture. What did you guys think about the movie?
What I got stuck on there was just like, because I didn't find it scary. I don't know about you.
I don't think it's meant to be scary, really, isn't it? More of like just a meta commentary on just like celebrity and that kind of industry.
Pretty sure we're supposed to have some body horror sort of dissonance with the experience of the film. Like, it's supposed to make you feel gross, a lot of it.
It's gross. It's not scary. I think, yeah, because you can have one without the other, really. It's just like, kind of like, this is pretty disgusting. And a lot of the time I was just like, oh, wow, the effects that they've used here are pretty good. I'm impressed. It looks good.
But no, yeah, I really like the idea of the story, and I thought the performances were top notch, and I kind of like the meta of it being Demi Moore as well. No offense to her.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would prefer something like The Substance getting a lot of attention for how just fucking unusual it is,
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about it being anywhere close to getting something like a Best Picture. That would be cool.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, like a horror movie. Like, you don't generally associate them with like Academy Awards or anything. So it's pretty impressive.
Especially this time around, seeing all the different things like the new rules or how they choose films. And do you see the thing about someone saying like they worked for someone who was one of the Oscar pickers, and they were like they only watched the first 10 minutes of any given movie? I was just like, I hate these people.
Yeah, the fucking like, the amount of people that would kill to be in that position.
Yeah,
who are super passionate about movies, and then you've got these like absolute cretins who just, like you say, they don't even watch the thing that they're passing judgment on. It's incredible. Andrew Valdez says, what is a bad take that everyone on the panel has? For example, I think the Sonic trilogy is the best trilogy outside Lord of the Rings trilogy, like genuinely so fun.
Wow.
I mean, that's a take for sure. Bad takes. I think Gone in 60 Seconds is a really fun movie, and I really like it.
Is that a bad take?
I don't know. A lot of people seem to shit on that film, and I'm not entirely sure why.
I feel like I've not really heard many people's perspectives on that one.
I mean, I know it got pretty negative reviews at the time, and a lot of people just don't seem to look very kindly on it, but I think it's pretty good. Maybe I'll do a video one day.
I'm trying
What's
to think.
yours?
What's like new stuff? Well, I mean, Deadpool Wolverine is ass, like the worst thing ever. Terrible writing, awful. I think a lot of people felt that was a bad take. I'm
That's
still
fair.
standing by it though. It's not going to change yet.
It'll be interesting to see where they are a year from now. Will they still defend it? The Wicker Man says, I hope you don't call the Oscar nominations Oscar bait when I know all of you haven't even bothered to watch more than half the films on it. I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I didn't even bother talking about it, really.
You can call something Oscar bait if you haven't seen the film. This is just a colloquial way of saying that you think that the production or the people involved or the story at hand, based on anything that you've seen, is more than likely trying to appeal to a particular kind of pattern one sees in the Oscars as opposed to tell a great story. You can be wrong. I don't think that's that wrong in and of itself, but no, I don't know that any of us have seen every Oscar related film yet. But I mean, we do this every year, I think. Everybody. Oscar bait as a term has existed for what, like decades?
Oh, for sure, yeah. And well, the Oscars are kind of doing this kind of thing to themselves now, where we're increasingly disinterested in what pictures are even nominated for it, and so there's less to talk about, so we're less inclined to watch them.
Yeah, I'll usually try and get around to a lot of different Oscar picks, depending on, like not usually all of them, but sometimes it'll just be down to like, oh, who was in that, or who made that, or how many people have that in my sphere have recommended that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I'm busy.
Yeah. Aurora Uplink says, I adore George Lucas and know he'll be around for many wonderful years yet. I'm hopeful he'll produce more films and maybe teach his children various arts of filmmaking. I don't think he's going to be producing any more movies, I'm afraid.
Or if he is, it'll be in name only.
Yeah. Let's see. Because I've not been keeping track. Yeah, he's 80 years old now. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing too much more, and that's fine. He's earned.
He's no Ridley Scott, okay? He's not going to be going crazy.
All to the good. Jay Fraser says, "Hail, gents and homosexuals named Jeremy Griggs. Hail to you, sir." Rabid One says, "Jeremy is gay. Hail the 199. Thank you." Shaker Silver says, I'm not sorry, and I don't love George again. He was washed up by the 90s, messed up both Star Wars and Indy before Disney even got it. Nothing will change that. Ooh. Harsh take indeed. Mitch says, Muller, you said the characters in From were dumb and that but that was nothing compared to the character choices in Squid Game Season 2. I was yelling at the TV.
It depends on which ones you're talking about. Because I think, I don't know if this person's seen our coverage, but we highlighted a lot of very dumb shit in Season 2 of Squid Game. To be fair, Season 1 of Squid Game has some dumb shit in it as well. But, I think there's enough to counteract that to keep me interested to see where things are going. From did not have that experience for me.
Yeah, what was your overall take on From then? As a movie, not just the characters being
I was insta-hooked by the premise of there's just this road that you can head down if you're unlucky enough, and it'll take you into a looping world where you're stuck in a tiny little town with a bunch of other people who are also stuck there, and at night creatures come out to basically kill you if you're not careful and stay inside, sort of thing. They seem like a unique kind of new enemy as well. They're just people, but they're people who have died, and they just walk toward you really slowly, smiling at you until they get close enough, and then they like incredibly violently tear you to shreds.
That sounds nice.
All of that, I was like, dude, this sounds like a perfect show for me. I love this shit. And then I think it only took 2 episodes. I was watching with Rags, and we got so fucking frustrated with all the characters being so stupid that we were like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time. I'll watch something else.
Oh,
it happens.
I was just looking at some of the monsters here. Ooh, yeah, that was quite cool. One of them's just like their faces all teeth, basically. Nice. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent if I get involved in that. Resident Weevil says, do y'all like Ryan George pitch meetings? I've been known to watch them from time to time.
Rather amusing, yes.
I mean, it tends to be like if it's a movie that made a particular impact on me, it's like, okay, there's a pitch meeting out for it. Let's see what they've got to say. So, Jay Fraser says, Flight Risk, directed by Mel Gibson, stars Mark Wahlberg and Topher Grace. The trailer looks great and it releases this week. Will you be seeing it? I didn't have a huge interest in seeing it. I don't know how you felt.
No, not really. I
something
mean,
that
if you
excited me.
guys mention that it's really worthwhile, then maybe. But not super interested myself.
Yeah. Rooster Cogburn says, the best musical ever is Team America. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom don't come free. Stephen Lee says, Rip Ryan, I thought he was Mr. Goonside. Okay. Grand Potato says, Jeremy already watches The Greatest Showman on Cobracast. He doesn't need to watch some gay Hollywood knockoff. Okay. Martin Krogh, a roaring skull. Cheers. Cheers, you fudge packers. Thanks, man. Skull to you, too.
Beautiful.
Mr. E. I'd like to correct the open bar fact that the film industry started talking in the 1920s. It was then the industry started talking out of their asses, 100 plus years and still going strong. Yeah, I just think they got better at it in the past decade or so. James Busher, South Park the movie is also a brilliant musical. I mean, it explains a lot. It's like the same people, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Blades, I got offered to join the Army Reserve. JAG. Hooah! Well done to you, man. Right. Get arresting people out there. Dragon Balls D says, lifelong Trek fan, and I despised Star Trek Discovery, but Strange New Worlds is actually good. The musical episode was a clever, silly way to show off the cast's musical theatre skills. You, sir, have no tests. Fight me. I will fight you if I see you. Hector G. Marzoa says, good evening, guys. Seeing as the new Wallace and Gromit film has been nominated for an Oscar, my question for Drinker is, where are the Wallace and Gromit reviews? I know. I can't believe it. I actually just watched the Wallace and Gromit movie just the other day, and it's really fucking good. I liked it. It's really funny. It's great to see the penguin back again. Yeah, it's good stuff. And it gets properly dramatic towards the end. Like it's like a legit action movie. It's great.
Well, there's that. There's just like the moment he says, please don't like die for the diamond. I don't want to carry on without you. It's like, aww.
There's some good stuff. And he finally pats him on the head like he should have done. That's all he wanted. Metallica fan says, the thing that pisses me off about Section 31 is it's set in the Lost era and they do nothing to explore that period between Star Trek 6 and The Next Generation. I know. Because they're idiots. Really? I can't think of a better way to describe it. They're morons and they should not be in charge of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Lamont says, nobody will just say it. DEI Gen Z people can't write. I think you could be right there. Jackson Cagle, hail panel and chat. We need a new Miramax. A21 has some decent stuff. Sure. I mean, I agree. We were talking about mid-budgeted movies and stuff the other night. So, Pre-Dawn Corpse says, musical episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds was gay. Besides, if the Klingons were singing anything, it would be metal or opera, of course. Yeah. Like, I know in Universe there's an explanation for why it was a musical episode, but my God, it just robs the show of anything even resembling dignity when you see them acting like that.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine Picard and stuff trying to do something like that? It's just, no, please don't. DJ says, just because Gary can't read, Gary needs to read this Mongoloido, like Drunk 3PO. Okay. Nexus says, why does the Captain America Brave New World poster show A-Train fighting Red Hulk? I mean, the resemblance is quite uncanny, actually. It's weird.
A-Train would have a fucking better chance. It's Captain Falcon's gonna get fucked.
Yeah. Nightmare Nightly says, who are you guys rooting for since the Oscar nominations were dropped today? I mean, I guess maybe the substance, but honestly, I can't say I give much of a shit about the Oscars.
I don't give a shit. I'm still probably gonna get mad if something I think is like really awful wins, like the Amelia Perez film.
Yeah, that's been like nominated for like the most Oscars ever, isn't it?
Ugh.
And I think we can all guess why. Kat says, we're supposed to get an Avengers movie next year. Do we even know who's in the Avengers right now? No.
No, and no, Disney don't either.
Yeah, it's like whichever actor they can scrape together that's willing to come back. Aurora Uplinks. This is a 3-parter here. Actually, no, it's more than that. It's 4. So here I go. Star Trek film. 2 Federation explorers see an alien world dying. A virus is spreading, and they break the law that Starfleet rules to aid them, discovering that the virus was not natural, but placed there by a hostile race wanting the world. The Federation now is at the fringes of war, and they put it there. That's where the Enterprise shows up to reprimand their behavior and interfering with the culture and orders to fix things. When they get pulled into the danger, it increases as the Federation is pulled into guarding countless worlds against a vast and hostile empire that has been hiding in plain sight. Okay, is that your pitch? Pitch for Star Trek? I'll take it. Aided Clock says, wait, Netflix Iron Fist had powers. I couldn't tell he never used them. And only one fist at a time. It was a really powerful fist, though, so, you know. Sean Haruki says, She-Hulk and Iron Fist are my 2 favorite Marvel heroes. Both live actions fucked them up hard. Indeed. Grand Potato. The prop guy was hitting on a hot chick and forgot to change out the knives. What was that a reference to?
Change out the knives.
Yeah. I guess we were talking about like mishaps on movies or something where someone got stabbed for real in a film.
Oh, was it Punisher?
Might have been.
I was talking about the fight Tom Jane had with the...
Yes, the Russian.
Yeah.
That could be it, yeah. That's probably it. I hope that's the reason, actually, that the prop guy was hitting on a hot chick. In which case, it's totally justified. Frosty Film Watcher says, to Drinker and the rest of the panel, did John Wick really need the sequels, especially 4? I feel like I asked that the other night.
Well,
probably didn't need 4, no. Could have got 1 sequel at least. Like, John Wick 2 would have been all right.
I tell you exactly what it needed. 0, but if you're going to give it a sequel, make it good.
That's a good idea. Dragon Balls D. Nolan films think that they're smarter than they are. You're not smart enough to understand. No, I don't have enough chromosomes to understand. Okay. I mean, what do you think? Do you think they think they're smarter than they are? Or are they pretty smart already? Are they trying too hard?
Sorry, who specifically?
Christopher Nolan movies.
That's a hard question.
Because I think like he's got a bit of a breadth of movies now to analyze, and like each one you could probably have a different answer to that. But as a general rule, as a filmmaker, do you feel like he tries to be too smart for his own good?
You know, to have pursued whatever the hell Tenet was the way that he did kind of makes me think that like he genuinely believes in these ideas and wants to explore them with the best of his talents with filmmaking, which I have a lot of respect for in a way. It's like, that's really cool, but I don't know, some of them are just clearly biting off more than you can chew, so to speak.
Yeah. I think as well, like maybe taking on more than the audience can realistically handle or are going to be invested in. And yeah, people always point to Tenet as like the jumping the shark moment for Christopher Nolan movies, where it's like, okay, now you're getting so convoluted and ridiculous, like people cannot even tell what the fuck's happening. So yeah, he's obviously pulled it back with things like Oppenheimer, where it's like a much more conventional story. Like, oh, okay, cool, you can still do that. I feel like he almost had to prove that to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting to see where he goes from here, though. The Beast says, detractors, you're all just in an echo chamber. Super Chat brings up Interstellar and absolute chaos ensues. Yeah. Remain blessed, gentlemen. Always keep it 100. Yeah. I mean, this is the crazy thing, right? We can disagree on stuff and still be friends afterwards. That's okay, isn't it?
Scary.
Yeah, I know. Melvin Deeply says, once upon a time in Hollywood is shit. He just dove right in there with that take. I don't agree with that I don't think it's shit. It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but man, it's got some pretty good moments in it. Too long, I would say.
What is your most hated Tarantino movie? Most despised?
Most hated?
Yeah. The one you want to kill.
God. I don't know. I don't know if there's any movies of his that I hate.
But there's got to be one you most hate, right? Even if it's none, he's got a little bit.
Well, I mean, it'd be like by that frame of reference, it would just be like your least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Right. I mean, I was never particularly into Jackie Brown. Like, again, it's not because I particularly dislike it or anything. It's just like, man, I just never get excited about watching it particularly. So it might be that.
I think Jackie Brown and Death Proof are the ones I've only watched once. Both of them.
Yeah. I don't think Death Proof was exactly like his finest hour either. It's a bit of an odd one, that.
Wasn't that fond of those two. Like, they don't speak to me in such ways that some of the others do. Certainly some of the others.
Yeah, I mean, I think particularly with Death Proof, it's like, I don't know, it didn't feel like something like that he was super passionate about and invested in. It was more just like a movie that he was doing as a favor almost. So, yeah, it's a strange one. Tundra Cat says, back on the subject of sci-fi, I'm currently rewatching the show Andromeda. Does anyone remember that with Kevin Sorbo? I sort of do. That was like a mid-2000s job. It is a bit goofy. Yeah, what category would I put it in? It's kind of like Farscape, but the writing wasn't as good, and the actors definitely weren't as good. Well, it tried. World War II Trooper says Dunkirk is the worst depiction of Dunkirk ever. I mean, is there that many Dunkirk movies?
I don't know, actually. There might be that sounds like something that could be quite a few of that we just haven't seen.
I mean, I remember there's no black and white one from like the 50s that I've seen, which is much more just procedural almost. Like, it wasn't really done with any kind of artistic flair or anything. It's just like, yeah, this is kind of what happened, as a lot of those movies were back then. But lots of heroism and stiff upper lips and all that. It really focuses on the rescue mission with the civilian boats. Talking about like Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, didn't Tarantino cite that scene with the artillery barrage as like his favorite shot in cinema?
Was it Dunkirk? I thought it was 1917, or am I mixed them up?
No, it's Dunkirk.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's definitely on a beach. And yeah, because like they're pinned down on the beaches, and obviously they're getting hit by artillery or particularly airstrikes. I think it might have been like a dive bomber dropping bombs on them or something. But I mean, it was a neat scene. I don't know if it's like the best one in the whole of cinema. Stone Cold Mike Zero says, just in, Ryan Kinnell is set to write and direct Get on the Bus 2. This time when the bus goes under 55 miles per hour, it explodes. Sounds good. Doink says, James Gunn, the toy collector, and his old tweets makes me wonder what he says and does in private. Why he's still allowed in the industry and why people are okay with him over Snyder. He's disgusting. What's our thoughts on that?
It was an interesting time, right, where he got almost cancelled, but then he came back. It was Marvel let him go from the public pressure, and then DC scooped him up. So I don't know why it wasn't enough for him, but it was enough for other people. But that's just how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, I do wonder how he was able to bounce back from that. I don't know if it's just like him saying and doing the right things publicly.
Things with Hollywood, it all seems so arbitrary from our view in terms of like who sinks or swims, that I wonder if it's just a matter of devil deals over there.
Most probably, yeah. I think when he's clearly a financial asset as well, I think they'll sometimes find a way to overlook certain things to get him back in the fold.
Mm-hmm.
which he clearly is.
I mean, dude, the power he's got in DC now is enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride for him. Emerald Eyes says, since Gary had Troy Duffy on a live stream recently, I'm curious, has Drinker still not seen Boondock Saints yet? How long has it been on your list now? Yeah, I've seen it.
You
We talked about this before.
He wasn't that fond of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, I wouldn't hold it up there as this fucking classic that I rewatch every few months or anything, but it's fine for what it was. It's the best I can say, really. Aurora says, Section 31 hired the guy from Deep Space Nine who played the original member of Section 31. Sorry, I should have said 31 there. In DS9, or bring back Bashir through time travel or Keanu Reeves in space. My vote is Keanu Reeves in space, actually. I want to see that.
Yeah, why not?
Brian K says, Interstellar tried too hard and it sucked. Game over, gay boy Jeremy. Game over.
That guy's correct.
Checkmate. Dusty Sprockets. G'day, gents. It's been a good show. I've started watching The X-Files for the first time. It's been awesome. Such clever writing and good character work. But bloody hell, season 8, man. Mulder leaving just about cooks the show. Yeah. The X-Files just fell off towards the end pretty hard. I definitely lost interest, but the first 4 or 5 seasons were just great fun.
Not many TV shows can survive losing, one of the top characters. It's tough.
It's impressive, yeah. It's impressive. But yeah, just it's such a great concept for a show. I just love the sheer breadth of different episodes they had. It could be everything from like voodoo witch doctors to ghosts to fucking space aliens to mutants. It's great. Cannibals.
You've seen that Sopranos and The Wire, right?
No, I haven't. I've started watching The Sopranos, but I haven't finished it, and I never really started The Wire.
I was going to ask which you think is the best because I need to watch all 3 of them.
I can't comment, sadly. I would definitely recommend The X-Files for you, though. I think you'd have.
Well, no, Gary. The problem is I've got I got to watch all of Twilight Zone. I got to watch all of TNG and DS9, and then all of The Wire, all of The Sopranos, all of it's like for a person, because there's no denying it. You would have noticed this over the years of talking to me. I've seen a lot of stuff. But I apparently haven't seen anywhere near enough stuff. It's just how it goes.
Well, it's never enough.
No, it's not.
Particularly when you do something like this and you've got hundreds of people who want to ask you about different shows. Inevitably, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you've not seen. And
shows are so much tougher too. Because I think I can't remember if I mentioned it to you, but I certainly on WC. While Metal was over, we were just scanning through Amazon, and I saw Wicker Man was there. And I was like, fuck, I either I hadn't seen or I would have seen it so long ago that I didn't remember any of it. And we watched it. It was fucking great.
Oh, the kind of thing the old one, yeah.
Yeah, well, we watched the new one as well, which is
that's an experience.
So fucking terrible. But point being, it's like if someone says oh, you don't see the Wicker Man, watch the Wicker Man. It's like, yeah, 2 hours of my night, done. And then it's like, oh, you haven't seen The Wire? Go watch The Wire. It's like, well, maybe I haven't even got room for any TV shows right now.
Yeah, it's always the problem. It's I can give you 2 hours to watch a movie. Sure, I can't give you 100 hours to watch a TV show from start to finish.
Unfortunately.
This next one, Justin Anthony Baru. I'm shocked the communist Brazilian movie I'm Still Here made it to the Oscars Best Picture nomination. Amazing how political this is. I'm boycotting this edition for sure. I mean, yeah, just don't watch it. You'll be happier. Pegsy says, showing my new friend all my favorite films, Done 7, Memento, No Country for Old Men, Whiplash, and tonight The Usual Suspects. His mind was blown by Memento and The Usual Suspects, making me happy. Nice. Yeah, those are some good fucking movies.
I like that they're all in the big shelf of just sudden huge reveal at the end that changes your whole world.
Yeah. I must look out that edit of Memento where it's all in sequence.
But yeah, I've never done that. I feel like it's and you need to make sure you watch the film in its original state first because you have to really appreciate it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's a fantastic concept and actually pretty well executed. Matthew Gee says The Martian was so much better than Interstellar and also a lot more based in science. Yeah, I think we talked about that the other night, and I agree. I like it.
This was the big fight over Interstellar was happening in Super Chat.
Yeah. Sergio Garcia. What is Jeremy doing here? Hail the 199. TJ Jordan. I vote for Lizzo to be cast as the Trojan horse. I think she might be too big, actually, for that.
She lost weight now. Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm going to correct myself on that. Isn't she getting in shape now?
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I will not make fun of her. Yeah, good on you, Lizzo. Keep it up.
Yeah.
John Ashworth. Hi, drinker. I just recently listened to your dulcet tones in Dungeon Crawler Carl. What do you think of the series and audiobooks in general? So, funny thing, I've never actually listened to them, so I can't tell you. But apparently they're big because people keep bringing that up every once in a while. So, yeah, I'm glad I got to be part of something that was so special to so many people. So, even if it was just a tiny little contribution. Marla's non-threatening unit says, Jeremy, you're my least favorite self-cleaning butter nanny. Thanks for the Trump streams. Okay, that's an inside joke right there. I've got Jades, says 199. Sometimes that's all you need. Servius says, as half the people on the panel are from the UK, aren't you obliged to discuss Paddington 3 or risk deportation? Just kidding. The UK never deports anyone. Yeah.
I think I plan to see Paddington 3. What about you?
It's not top of my list or anything. I've seen the first one, I think. Thought it was charming. It's fine. It's not like something I feel deeply invested in or anything. Yeah, here's a question. Johnny's says, would you Galrog Gadot? So is she like half Gal Gadot and half Balrog?
All right. A hot Balrog? Let's do it.
I mean, yeah.
I know they're already hot, but a different kind of hot.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because, like, you're trying to get on with her, and then she just suddenly bursts into flames and incinerates you. I wouldn't call that a win. So you got problems there. You have to have a fire extinguisher on hand.
Yeah.
Toxic Monger or Monger of the Hateful says, a joke that I found, and I'll spread to you all. A Jedi, a Sith, and a child killer walk into a bar. The bartender turns and yells, "Get the hell out, Skywalker." Pretty good. Some Norwegian guy says, I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but the one thing that sucks in them are the lack of explaining the passing of time. For example, I thought that Gandalf left for a few days in the beginning of Fellowship. So, yeah, in the books, I think he's gone for about 15 years. So he's away for a while. And yeah, it's not made too clear how long he's away for in the films. I don't think you need to know that much, really. I can see why they wanted to maintain a bit of urgency because, man, the whole like leaving the Shire thing takes forever in the books, and it's really like planned out like a leisurely holiday. Like I kid you not, it's like we need to get this thing out of the Shire, right? And it's like, when should we go? You could probably wait until autumn time, I guess. As long as you're out by the end of the year, you'll be all right. And then like Frodo just spends the summer just chilling in the Shire before he leaves. Next one is The Darkness. Is Jeremy really gay, or does he just go for the ladyboys like Az? Well, we'll never know. Speaking of Balrogs, Gary, where does one get a Balrog t-shirt? Oh yeah, we asked him that, didn't we? You can get them online. You'll be all right. Mr. Tompus says, Gothmog, the leader of the Balrogs, was slain by Ecthelion, king of the Gondolin, and Glorfindel killed another. They both died in the battle. I thought Gothmog was the orc leader at the Battle of Minas Tirith. Maybe it's a different Gothmog.
Yeah, you could probably, I would name my kid Gothmog to celebrate, older Gothmogs. It's
funny, right? Because I feel like Gothmog's become almost like this fan favorite, like with the memes and stuff of him. You know how many times he gets mentioned in the books? One.
0? Oh.
No, they literally say his name one time, and it's just an offhand comment of like, when the Lord of the Nazgul gets killed, like Gothmog assumes command and like sends his forces here and there and stuff. It's not even explained whether he's like an orc or a human or something else entirely. He's just Gothmog. That's all you get.
Well, Lutz is cooler.
Lords is pretty cool. I like his look and I like his style.
I love the name. It sounds so evil.
Lords. 42, the answer. I'm still laughing from last week's Culk episode. We got something special there. Somebody please release a short of that moment. Also, a movie being hijacked by a terrible director or cast should now be known as being culked. Hemorrhoid Hurts says Deadwood is the best of the best of the best. It's pretty good. I remember it being good. Des Leppy, if you were a Jedi and had to choose one scenario, pick one. Be forced to fight Darth Maul and Vader or Dooku and Palpatine, gladiator style. So you're in a big arena and you've got to take on two of them at once.
I'm losing no matter what. Like they're too powerful. You got
Nah, but you're a Jedi, right? So you're more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Who do you think's the stronger team?
This could. So the thing is, depending on how you're feeling as a Star Wars fan, Vader could be the top tier Force user because he's like insanely powerful and being the chosen one and stuff. But a lot of people's perspective is that it would have been that way had he not been chopped up and burned.
Yeah.
Like, so he's a crippled version of that, but still pretty powerful, as we know. But the Emperor, he's fucking OP as hell. So on the Force side of things, I mean. And then on the actual like combat side, I don't think anyone's beaten Dooku easily.
Sorry, I mean, is this?
It was was it Dooku and Palpatine and Vader and
yeah, but then is Dooku that powerful as a fighter?
Well, he's got like the fencing style, right? And he puts up with Yoda.
It kind of depends, like whether
and he
takes
takes on Anakin and Obi-Wan twice.
Yeah, well, it's just like, because then Anakin beats him pretty easily in the third movie.
That Anakin is like close to the highest power Vader. Because he's like that. Revenge of the Sith Anakin is like super OP.
Because I kind of imagine as well, like this Dooku is like quite old by this point, and I wonder what he was like in his prime. Whether he would have been even more powerful and faster and stronger, that sort of thing.
But like, I've always seen Maul is like really good with the lightsaber, and then lesser with the Force. At least that's the implication I got. So I assume that's why they paired them like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but which I could have more chance with. It's like, I don't know, man. I probably don't want to deal with the Emperor, honestly.
Yeah. You're either going to get crushed into a pulp or like sliced and diced either way. So yeah, I feel like we'd probably just die no matter what.
Yeah.
Jay Fraser says, speaking of the last good, decent Ridley Scott film, has anyone seen any of the three films? The Counselor, All the Money in the World, or The Last Duel?
I want to see The Last Duel, but no, I haven't seen him.
I haven't either, actually, and I'm quite shocked by that. But yeah, for the same reason, actually, I do want to see The Last Duel. People have recommended that and said it's pretty decent, so I will watch it. And Arceo Markison has given us a super sticker, going crazy. So thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But that right there was the last of the super chats. So
well.
Gentlemen, ladies, everyone who's sent us super chats and asked us questions or just given us little words of encouragement or baffling super stickers, thank you. We appreciate it. And it was great for you to hang out with us at Open Bar last week. And you will catch us again on Thursday this week. So looking forward to it. But yeah, good. I hope you are. But that is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye.